Welcome back to Appalachian Dim Sum,
where entertainment is our comfort food.
And this time we're going to be talking about Spider-Noir.
Yeah, we just talked about Ghost in the Shell. Still have that up. We don't have anything to display for Spider-Noir because it's on streaming.
That's right. And I've told you this before. I'm not really, like, as a comic book fan, I'm not really into Marvel in general.
Yeah.
My issue with Marvel has always been you get into one, like, I like this series, you start reading that series, and then they come out with like an offshoot series. They're like, oh, well, let me continue this story in this offshoot series. And then they have, okay, well, this character comes in from their comic series. Okay, well, now in order to continue the story, I've got to read what this guy. It just expands. It expands and expands and expands.
I think we talked about it with local shops and stuff too.
Yeah.
Where you ask somebody to pull something for you from like a line. Oh yeah. Then you go in after 2 weeks and there's a stack like this and like, oh yeah, this is this other side story and blah blah blah. I was like, nah,
it's too much.
I really liked the trying to get when I first got into collecting comics. I tried to get into whatever X-Men stuff I could find. Mm-hmm. Really enjoyed that. And
I think especially in the 90s, I think a lot of I'm thinking because of the the X-Men cartoon. I think a lot of people got into comics through that.
Yeah. And it just splintered out into so many things too that it really just kind of killed my interest in it. I really haven't been into purchasing any really comics since then, honestly.
I ebb and flow. What'll happen for me is I'll get frustrated and I'll just be like, I'm done with comics. I've got a lot of comics I haven't actually finished reading, so I'm gonna focus on reading what I got, and I'm not gonna buy anything new.
Yeah. The Marvel with the Dark Tower series was the last stuff that I bought.
Yeah, that was 15 years ago at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And I'll get out of comics for a while, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm going to get back into comics, and then I'll slowly get in, and I'll like start buying back issues of things that I missed, and I'll subscribe to, or I'll put a certain series on the pull list, then I'll put another series, and then at some point I'll get to a point where I'm like, this is too much. Yeah. I'm done. Right now I'm in the I want to get stuff that I missed, and it's to the point to where I'm finding series from years ago that I didn't even know existed. I'm like, ooh, I want to read that. Ooh, I want to read that. So Spider-Noir is nowhere to be found in any of this for me, though. I have never read a Spider-Noir comic.
Okay.
So this discussion is going to be pretty focused on the Spider-Noir series.
I pulled up some searches and stuff and I have not seen it. It's on our list of things to do, but we try to do things one at a time. I eat my dishes one at a time. I don't mix my peas and my carrots.
No.
But we haven't got to watching this yet, but when I pulled it up, that was what came up, was all this like Wikipedia history of the comics. I was like, wow, apparently there's a lot behind all this. And
yeah, I was surprised as well as how much content they have of Spider-Noir, or Spider-Man Noir is what it was originally.
If you want to see, just search it into Wikipedia and just start scrolling, and it starts to talk about like eras of Spider-Noir, and like, wow, okay. Yeah. There's more on that than there are on some of like the wars and stuff that have happened.
Did you see Spider-Man, the animated one, Across the Universe, Enter the Universe, Spider-Verse?
I watched the first one, yes.
Yes.
And then
that was Enter the Spider-Verse, right?
Was the other one the 2-part thing?
Yeah.
I did not watch that one.
Spider-Man, Spider-Verse movies. I think it's Enter the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I watched the first one. I kind of enjoyed that. It wasn't anything I was excited about. It was watchable. But
yeah. Into the Spider-Verse. So anyway, so you saw Spider-Noir from there, because
I honestly would not have. It didn't stick in my memory that it was there. I'm sure I did.
Well, he was actually voiced by Nicolas Cage in that as well.
In the first movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the whole reason this exists, is because he was a very popular character.
I guess.
People really liked like the voice inflections and stuff that Nicolas Cage came up with.
I don't think I was paying attention.
Oh, okay. But like the shtick is that in the Into the Universe, the Spider-Verse or whatever, in that series, he's black and white.
Yeah. And
like he sees a Rubik's Cube, and he's really interested in it because it has all the colors. He takes it back with him. And that was one of the big things they did for this series, is they have it you could choose to either watch it in black and white,
Yeah.
or you could choose to watch it in full color.
It's one of my only notes really on the show. When I searched it, the screen on Google goes to black and white, like the whole thing does.
Okay, yeah.
And then it looks like it's raining across your screen.
Really? Like if I just do Spider-Noir?
Yeah.
Do that now.
It did that, and I was like, well, that's cool. But then my second thought was, I wonder how much that cost.
Oh, well, yeah. That's pretty cool. Do that. And it's just for a second, too. Yeah, just go to Google and Google Spider-Noir. Nice.
That was a cool little effect.
Yeah.
Again, I bet that cost more than you would think something like that would have. But
now I'm going to get into some light spoilers. I don't think any of it's... This is a very popcorn show.
Yeah.
Like it's not a in-depth psychological,
that's why we have
treatise of the human nature versus
it's not in the front
nature.
of our line to watch, because that's kind of one of those things that we're kind of thinking when we watch it. It's like, yeah, we'll flip it on.
Yeah.
And
it's very much pulp. I think they did a really good job. Not that I'm real versed in pulp media, but what the idea I have of pulp, it's kind of like Lovecraft. Like before we kind of got a little bit into Lovecraft, I won't talk about it here, but I have some stuff I want to tell you about that.
It's what we thought Lovecraft was.
Right, yeah. like I had an idea of what Lovecraft was just from pop culture, and I have an idea of what these kind of movies are just from pop culture, and this very much fits into that. Like it plays into it. Nicolas Cage does an amazing, like old Hollywood style voice.
That's what I was thinking. Is when I see stuff like this, I expect it to be like the old sort of black and white Casablanca type movies. Yeah. There's tons of those that we've watched, and I'm not going to try to drag those out of my memory, but the detective and the smoky scenes and all that kind of stuff.
Now, one of the things I came across is that there are some people who are saying that like it's almost like the Star Wars thing where people argue how you're supposed to watch it. Well, they're saying with Spider-Noir, like you should watch the first 3 episodes in black and white, because that kind of sets up the character who it is, and then watch it in color.
Okay.
We watched it in color all the way through, mostly because we're modern people and we watch things in color.
I guarantee that when we do it, if we watch it as a group, we will watch it in black and white, because we're like, apparently we're not modern.
Well, did you ever watch the Chrome and Gold? Was it Chrome and Gold, Black and Chrome version of Mad Max Fury Road?
No.
Okay, have you've seen Mad Max Fury Road?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They came out after it came out, they released a version that was in black and white, and people are like, "This is amazing."
We've talked about the Godzilla -1 black and white, and they actually came back and did Shin, which I was like, "Oh man, all the vibrant colors in Shin, where he starts launching like purple nuclear rays out of his back." It's like, how can you make that black and white? And you saw it black and white. It's like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. So. Now
when they filmed this, it's very obvious when watching it in color that they filmed it to be watched in black and white.
Yeah,
I think the color is actually in it's true hue full color.
Yeah,
I think that's almost even a nod to Technicolor of the past.
Yeah.
And the colors in this are so vibrant. It's a beautiful show.
Did you watch?
It's great.
Older sitcoms, things like that, older TV series when they started to colorize them.
Like no, the like first thing I Love Lucy.
Yeah, like the first thing that comes into my mind is like Andy Griffith.
Okay, yeah, I have seen when it went to color.
When they went to color, It was like it looked weird.
Yeah,
because I don't think the colors were natural the way the film worked. It would be really cool if they could have worked that out on something like that, to where they colorized it, but it looked like the old-fashioned coloring.
Yeah, where when they first announced it, I thought they were going to do like a Technicolor thing.
Yeah,
because Technicolor weren't they like painting it? Like they were actually.
I don't know that at all. Yeah. I know that things that should be tan are almost like kind of green, and hair colors are all over the place when you watch some of that old stuff. So that would have been a cool way to kind of sell this, to just to be a nod to that first era of color.
Okay, they shot the movie on 3 separate rolls of black and white simultaneously.
Okay,
that was the 3 strip Technicolor. Okay, interesting. So it's like how you get the magenta, cyan, put it together.
That's cool.
Interesting. Okay, anyway, now the Spider-Noir character in this his name is Ben Reilly. Now there's also a character called Ben Reilly from the Clone Saga from like back in the 80s, and it's like Uncle Ben. It's like a version of Uncle Ben.
That was my thought. Was like, is this any kind of tie to Ben or not?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a part of the narrative. There's some hints there where like it might not be his real name, so he might have just taken the name of his uncle, but it doesn't get into his backstory like that. The way he gets his spider powers is a lot different from the way Peter Parker gets his spider powers. He gets it as an adult. He gets it during the war.
Okay.
And the way he gets his powers is the same way, because what they've done is the main characters, you have a guy named Tombstone, and these are all like modern Spider-Man villains. You got Tombstone, you have a guy that's kind of like the Shocker or Electro, kind of.
Okay.
And you have a guy who's like Sandman, but he's made of cement instead of sand.
Okay.
And then there are some other like small. Those are the main villains of this, and there are some smaller villains. And the way they explain the mutations and the way people get powers is they've gotten their like DNA spliced with some sort of animal. Now I looked this up because I was like, wait a minute, sand isn't an animal, electricity isn't an animal. In this story, those people had their DNA spliced with like plants. Okay. So like a plant that has like electric properties, that sort of thing. It's a very, very hand wavy. Like, yeah, it was a plant, it was an animal. But like Tombstone was spliced with like a crocodile.
Okay.
And Ben Reilly was spliced with a spider, obviously. And one of the things that Nicolas Cage brings to the character is he has to fight his spider instincts. And that's one of the ways they kind of explain the fact that he talks like an old Hollywood man, because he had kind of like learn how to be human again once he became mutated. And you'll see him do very Nicolas Cage moves where he's like acting like a spider. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
I think Nicolas Cage I don't think he would have ever been cast as Spider-Man if it wasn't for the fact that he voiced Spider-Noir. I think that it's the fandom of Nicolas Cage led to this being made. And I think it was a fun movie. Like I said, it's not real deep. It's very pulpy, very popcorny, and I think
there's a line here that says, I guess talking about how Cage, I guess maybe from an interview with Cage or something, that he approached his performance as 70% Humphrey Bogart and 30% Bugs Bunny.
Okay, you can see that. You can see that.
Again, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know. But
all right, there's a character. The only other notable character in this, I don't. Let me look up the actor. Spider-Noir actors. Lamorne Norris. Do you know who that is? He plays Robbie. I know him from a show called The New Girl.
I'm looking at him now.
Yeah.
He is not super familiar to me.
Okay.
So.
The New Girl was a sitcom with Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah.
And he was like one of her roommates in that.
Yeah, I seen New Girl, Woke, and Fargo, the series.
Okay.
But I have not watched any of those. So.
Well, he plays a journalist, and he's Ben Reilly's best friend, and Ben Reilly is a special investigator in this, and that's where he gets his proclivity toward fighting crime and whatnot. And I think what's his name again? Lamorne Norris. Lamorne Norris. I think he was great. I'm very much becoming a fan of this guy. He is a grounded character for Nicolas Cage's kind of crazy, off the wall version of this character. But yeah, I'm interested in hearing what you think about him. I don't want to get into that. That's the little bit I talked about is as deep into the stories I want to get.
Yeah. I don't know where it falls on our list of. We've got more Invincible to do. We really kind of wanted to, as soon as we're done with Golden Kamui, to get my wife to. I might just sit back and watch standalone complex again because I think she would enjoy it. But yeah, it's on my list of stuff. It's like it's just not real high.
It's
the thing with me on evaluating things like this is it's on Prime. That's one of the few streaming services that we've kept. So I don't feel any urgency to get it before it goes off.
Prime isn't really known to remove the stuff that they make.
Yeah, it's the stuff
like
that
Netflix will, but Prime doesn't.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be there for a while, and I guess honestly, if it goes away, then it's not going to be a huge hit in our existence, whether we see it or not. But and I'm the same way. I guess it's maybe one of those little side effect tendrils or whatever of all this superhero just bombardment that you got and the way it kind of built up popularity and now it's just kind of fizzling into obscurity.
Yeah.
Is that it's a new Marvel product at this point is just kind of like, they have to do something interesting, really interesting to even get me to be like, yeah, I want to take time out of my day to do that. And I love Nicolas Cage. He's really the only reason that I would probably even consider this thing.
I think he is the reason this was made. I really do.
Yeah.
Because they're like, people like Nick Cage and they like this character. Let's do it.
I'll give it a shot for there. And I go into Marvel stuff with defenses up too on what kind of social thing are they going to be throwing at me or what kind of other things are they going to be trying to introduce. And really when the first one of those pops up, I'm pretty quick to be like, no. So I don't know if I'll get through this series or not. I don't know how much that kind of stuff is prevalent, but
the only comment I would make is the only thing that was noticeable is it is a very diverse cast.
Yeah.
Which in and of itself wasn't an issue, but that's one of those things
about that.
Right. That's one of those things where there I could see people being like, there weren't this many of this particular ethnic group at that time. Okay, whatever. This is a fictional world.
Yeah.
Set in a fictional 1930s.
I'm fine to have fictional worlds that you do what you kind of want to do.
Yeah.
I don't like when you come back to an established character and be like, let's just change it to this because I just don't ever see the necessity in that. Like, well, he's a good actor too. I'm like, well, he could have played another part. But
we usually do this at the beginning, and I just I went past it. It took about $400 million to make. That's a lot.
That's an expensive series.
Yeah. Now that's
a very expensive series.
Well, it's
like a series. It looks like maybe 8 to 10 million is expensive.
But. Well, it looks like the season 1 took 150 million to make, but they've dedicated 400 million to the series.
Yeah,
because they want to make more.
You search it on Google, and Google turns gray and rains on you.
Yeah, right.
That costs money.
How much was that?
Yeah, I mean, if they're doing that kind of marketing with it, that's a pretty heavy lift.
And they did. It says the high production cost factors was they did build the sets, like their actual sets, and also Nicolas Cage's paycheck.
Yeah. Well, if they have any sense at all, you can go back and look at scripts and storylines that are sitting there waiting and be like, we built these sets. What else could we use this for? Because we've seen that through other series that part of Dark City was used for the Matrix.
Yeah.
And I think the same things happen with like some Blade Runner type things that if a studio actually is thinking, which I'm not sure too many of them do at this point, but you could actually use that and recoup a lot of that.
And it looks like it was between 40 and 50 million viewership per episode so far, which I think is great. And I think this will have legs. Mostly,
how do you measure how much money you make on a service like that? I mean, I guess you factor in how many new people joined Prime, and how do you know the people that joined Prime in that period joined because of this? That kind of thing.
This is such a weird thing to think, but I don't think they care about money anymore. It's viewership.
Yeah,
it's like because now it's not only that. Okay, well we developed this show and people are watching it, and these people subscribe to the service. It's okay, we developed the show, these people are watching it, so let's add that information to their aggregate data so we can sell that data. So like it is way larger than just, hey, let's make a show and sell some advertising to it.
Is Prime Bezos? Is that the right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Prime is Bezos.
So
yeah, so I watch Spider-Noir. I'll probably get something in my Amazon suggestion at some point based on that.
It's kind of from being at the railroad and watching how they function that I kind of assume that's the way a lot of these companies function, is that he probably needs an expenditure to tax shelter some of his assets. So
Well, do you know about the Batgirl film? They made a Batgirl film and they shelved it,
yeah,
and so they could write it off. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But also one of the things I really liked about Spider-Noir is the fact that it is an isolated story. It does, like I said, it does kind of associate with the Into the Spider-Verse story. But man, I am so tired of stories that you have to know. Like the Marvel Cinematic Universe was great.
Yeah.
But really, they should have done Infinity War and be like, all right, great. That was that.
And
now we're just going to do
how
movies.
many things are you have to watch this, go through this whole thing to just get to the teaser at the end. That's going to be, this is the next series. And that's why I watch this kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, we'll try it, whatever.
We were going to watch a particular Marvel film. It was the Thunderbolts. We were going to watch the Thunderbolts. My wife was like, well, who's this? Who's this? I'm like, well, I was like, well, they were in this, but you haven't seen this. Well, who's this? Well, that was the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I know you started watching that. Did you ever finish it? No. So how do you keep up with all this? This is like
we watched
starting fresh. You can watch it and you can completely understand what happens.
I signed in on some of the Loki series, and I think some of my family watched that all the way through. But it really was like that was just a filler to get you to the next thing.
Yeah,
and it was like,
well, the next thing was supposed to be the Kang Dynasty, and that
went away.
That's gone.
I forget what other movies tied into it again. I just really lost interest. But
anyway, Spider-Noir. It's a fun time, I think.
How many episodes was it?
8 episodes.
8.
There's no filler. Like there's no interstitial episodes where it's like, well, Spider-Noir is gonna go get a drug dealer. No, it's just all based. It's all the story.
Here's my Marvel radar for you. Who is the character in there that's going to be the spinoff series character? Because they're probably not going to pay Nick Cage to come back and do this again.
Well, I mean, it doesn't leave on a cliffhanger, but it leaves it open. Yeah. I think he'll be back. Okay. That's probably part of the $400 million. That's why they have so much. They're like, we need him for multiple seasons.
Yeah. It's good.
Honestly,
it's good to be Nick Cage.
Yeah. Honestly, if they're the unbearable weight of massive talent, right? I know you haven't seen that, but it's a good, great film. Robbie, the Lamorne Morris, that guy, Robbie Robertson.
Yeah.
I think he's a great character. You could follow him in his exploits of like investigating superheroes.
That's kind of what I wondered, if it wasn't to set up whoever's going to replace him kind of thing.
You could, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't mean they won't.
Well, yeah, you're right. It doesn't mean they won't. I don't think it'll be right away. I think we'll get Spider-Noir season 2 first, at least.
I talked about, we reviewed Arcadia that Nicolas Cage was in, and you really think it's a Nick Cage movie. It's like, it's really not. But his presence in that movie is just enough to make it that much more appealing.
Right.
He really isn't in the film, probably even for a fifth of it. But it's the power of
Nick Cage.
Power of the Cage.
All right.
Yep.
Well, that's our brief discussion about Spider-Noir.
There you go. Later.